Well, hey y'all. It's Jofer, the cranky old gay guy. And I'd like to say, welcome all you coggers. Today, we are going to talk about noise pollution. Yeah, everyone knows what it is, and it is a pain in the ass, and it gets me grumpy as hell. So, have you ever been just sitting on your couch, watching TV, and then all the windows in the house rattle, and then they stop? A few minutes later, they rattle again, and then they stop. And then they rattle again. You know what it is? It's the city buses. There's one that runs on the street behind me that rattles the windows on the back of the house. And occasionally they split from there and they circle around the block and they come right by my living room and everything shakes. Now, part of that could be the vibration from the heaviness of the bus, but the bus is so loud that you can't hear the TV when it comes by. And that makes me cranky. And TriMet, that's the name of our bus line. Please take care of this issue. Stick to your lines and quiet your buses down. Okay. Secondly, you're sitting in your living room and suddenly it's like rockets going off outside your house. Boom, boom, boom. And what is that? I don't know what the polite term is. I was going to say jackhole, but comes by with a car that has a boom speaker in it. So the thumpa 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 of their music is amplified 200 times, enough to deafen anyone outside the car. I don't know what's going on inside the car. But again, the windows rattle. You can't hear the television. You can't hear your stereo. You can't hear, you have headphones in. It covers up everything. It's annoying as hell. I don't understand why someone wants to broadcast that boom sound anywhere, in their car, outside of the car. I just don't get it at all. So I know that there is going to be at least one person exposed to this video that deals with boom cars because they make the boom speaker casings that go in the cars. So if someone could explain that to me, that person or that person's wife, let me know, okay? Because again, when it comes by, it's annoying as hell and it's cranky as F. Yesterday, I was walking my dog in the neighborhood, and we turned down. I live a block from a business district, and I went down a few blocks, and then I took an alley headed towards the business district, and I got in about two houses, and there was this really, really loud music. It was like, it wasn't dance music, it wasn't rap music. It was kind of like house music in that I don't remember any words. It was just the beat and thumpa 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 thumpa, ongoing, never-ending music or sounds. And as I approached, this rabbit ran towards me, which my dog really liked. It was a young rabbit. And then this kid ran by me chasing the rabbit, and the dog didn't care about the kid. My dog just wanted the rabbit. And there was a woman, this kid's mother. She was in the alley doing something to her garage door. And I said, "Are you having a party?" And she pointed up the street, and I thought she was pointing at the neighbor across the alley. They have like a 7-foot fence around their backyard, and I thought maybe they were having a barbecue or something. And she goes, "No, no, no, come with me." And we walked down one house, and we were outside of this restaurant that has a outdoor courtyard. It's all cement, and it's like, I don't know, 15, 20-foot walls, except it's open to the alley, and they just have a fence up. And it was deafening to the point that it was hard to hear her, and she was yelling, and she couldn't hear me as I was talking to her. And there was, she said, look in there. And we went over and we looked in, and there's a DJ spinning, and there were maybe 8 people sitting at a table, and that's the only people in the courtyard. And that thing was so freaking loud. The people that were in the courtyard would have had to have earplugs or they were going to leave deaf. And I said, "What's the occasion?" And the woman goes, "It's like this all the time. We complain and we complain. We talk to the managers. They don't care." I said, "Did you call the city?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think she said Dan Ryan on City Hall, Portland City Hall, is in charge of that, and his office has done absolutely nothing." And as we're talking, a group of middle-aged elderly people walked up the alley. I think there were like 5 women and 1 man. And they walked past this courtyard over to where this woman and I were and said, "How do you deal with this? We hate it." And this woman started talking to them. And two of them looked at me and said, "We live on the next street over, and it's like this all day and night. And we complain continuously, and the people that run the business don't care." Then this older woman, I think the oldest in the group, came up to me and she said, "Do you know I live on 27th, which is the side street to the side of the restaurant?" And she said, "2 nights ago, I had to come over here at 11:30 at night in my bathrobe and a hair bonnet on and ask them to turn it down because I couldn't sleep. And I shouldn't have to do that." And I agree. You shouldn't have to do it. It is noise pollution. And businesses, especially businesses that are smacked up against residential areas, you really need to keep that in mind because all you're doing is making enemies. The neighbors are not going to come to your establishment. They're not going to tell their friends to because they hate what you're doing to the neighborhood. So, City Hall, Dan Ryan's office, whoever handles noise complaints in the city of Portland, I'm not going to give the name of the restaurant, but look at your noise complaints. I think you probably have 30 or 40 complaints just in the last couple weeks. Speaking of noise, did you hear that? That's the dog. I think the mailman must be here. Anyway, look in your file. You've probably got 30 or 40 noise complaints regarding one specific business on Alberta. So check that out, won't you? And my next noise issue, again, and it's with music, and it's not the music. That's not the problem. Sometimes it's the volume, but it's not always. Sometimes it's the etiquette in playing the music. When I go to the river, I'll call it the beach. You find a spot and you lay out and you're in nature. You're 25 miles out of the city. You're on a river, you're on an inlet. There's a sand island. It's beautiful, it's sunny, it's peaceful. You hear the birds. Occasionally you hear a plane fly over, or you'll hear a ship, a freighter or a tug go up the river. And then you have the jackholes, again, who are on jet skis that crank them and they're loud, and motorboats that are loud that need to learn to stay out of the inland side of the island because it's where swimmers are, and keep your motorized activities to the other side of the island. It's not a law, but it should be because it's noisy, it's disruptive, and it makes me and everyone else that's at the river that day cranky. So getting back to the music, you plant yourself. Someone at the river will bring their music with them. It's inevitable. It might be peaceful for 20 minutes and then one group or one person shows up and the music starts. And once that happens, it's like a music war. Everyone who's brought their music, who may have hesitated to turn it on because they don't want to be disrupted, now feels that if they're doing it, we should be able to do it. So they turn theirs up. So not only are you getting music on both sides of you, but it's not the same music and they're at battle with each other. And then you'll get someone that comes and sits right next to the people who have music. And this person decides to play their music and they turn it up even louder to drown out the people next to them. Now, they're not the only ones hearing it though. Now, everyone on the beach hears it. Everyone on the other side of the channel hears it. It is obnoxious, it's grating, and it makes me cranky. I'm going to ask you a question, you beachgoers. You go to the beach to enjoy sunshine and nature. Why do you bring music? If you want to hear music, wear earbuds. The rest of the beach doesn't need to hear what you're listening to, okay? They just don't. And those of you who bring dance mix music, which is just, as I call thumpa music, repetitive over and over, it's just about loud. The songs never end, they just run one into the other. It's what they play at raves and super late night dances that, I don't know what to say on that one. Except, please, refrain from bringing that kind of stuff to the beach and to the river. It's not party time. I mean, you might be able to party, and that's totally fine. But you've got to keep in mind that it is a shared space for everyone. And no one should have to listen to your music if they don't want to. And you should not move into a space where there are people and start your music as they were there first, enjoying peace and quiet, and now you've ruined it for them. So I hope you feel guilty. Leave your music at home or wear earbuds, okay? Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I'm cranky and I'm old. Okay, the last thing I'm going to cover is bars. I don't get this either. Oftentimes the music it's background music. I mean, no one wants a silent bar. It's going to drive people away. So I get the having the music going, and it's great if you can hear the music and still talk to the person next to you. But bars at a specific time, 9:30 to 10, 10:15, suddenly the volume cranks way up, and you have to raise your voice way up here and yell just to hear yourself or hear the person next to you. They have to yell at you as well. Why? The bar didn't get busier. Is it just that they think people have been drinking so much they can't hear now? Does that much alcohol in your system, if you've been drinking for 2 hours, does that really make you deaf? So you can't hear the music, so it has to be louder? Please explain it to me, because I don't understand it. And even when I was in my 30s, I would be playing pool at a particular bar downtown, and it would get super, super loud. So someone playing pool, myself or one of the other guys, would go over and say, "Hey, I noticed the music got really loud. Can you turn it down? We can't hear ourselves talk." And they'll go, "Yeah, we'll look into that." And as you walk away, they'll go, "Old man." What the hell? Now they don't say old man. Now they say, "Sure thing, boomer," as if boomer is an insult. So that's about it. I think that's all I've got for noise pollution. Something about the river too is that if you are there with or without music, but you bring anything with you, please pack it out. We do have a couple, like I own them. There are two or three gentlemen who routinely walk the beach with garbage bags because they don't like the unsightly litter around and pick up your trash. But I haven't seen them this year. They may have aged out of going to the river. And I did notice that there were a couple people and a group of people next to me that tended to snap the caps off their beer cans, the little pull tabs, and just throw them in the sand. You know, that's going to hurt your foot when you step on it. Maybe not you, but maybe somebody else. And don't bring glass bottles to the river, ever. If you break glass in the sand, someone's going to get cut down the road because you're not going to get all the pieces. Okay? So be considerate, be kind, be courteous, and you too can be a cranky old gay guy, just like me. That's about it for today. I haven't got a lot more to say, so wishing you the best. The sunshine is coming back. It's warm. It's beautiful. It makes me happy. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thought you got rid of me, didn't you? Well, I left without giving a shout out. So today I'm going to send that shout out to the Cover to Cover podcast with Chris Franjola on all your podcast systems. Spotify, Apple, Castbox, Podbean, etc. You'll just the Cover to Cover podcast with Chris Franjola. It's irreverent humor by a 50-something guy and his sidekick, Alex. It's not highbrow, but it is funny. So you should check it out. Okay, and also, guess what I didn't mention today? That's right. Today's sponsor. We need another sponsor. This one is the 35 Letters from a Mother to Her Son by Joseph L. Ferguson. This will be our sponsor until I find another one. So give me some ideas, okay? Until next time, bye-bye.